because just as we've been doing the habituation meditation, because that has been to clear out identity, clear out old patterns around identity that we no longer resonate with. So when I say the people that just decide I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, like all the January gym people that by the end of February aren't going anymore. The addiction meditation, the habituation meditation, because they haven't changed their identity. They're the same exact identity that they've always been, trying to do action in the 3D, something new, without changing who they are, how they think, how they assume, what they think about themselves, what they think about the life they're in. Say, like the lottery people that have poverty consciousness, hit the lottery, lose the money, because they're the same identity. So the habituation meditation, slowly but surely, without thinking about it, without focusing on it, without spending all the time on the what's out, we're not spending any energy on what's out for 2025 and 2020, whatever. We're not spending all this time like about what we're releasing, what we're not doing anymore. We're just doing the addiction meditation, and we're focusing on the identity that we desire to be right now, and choosing that identity constantly, and simultaneously the habits, the habitual ways of thinking, assuming, perceiving, the not being able to see the unseen, the blocks in being able to even perceive that it's already here, it's already done, but you just can't see it. Totally just underlying, like, back end, getting rid of it without having to focus or obsess over it. Whatever blocks, whatever limits to you not allowing yourself to have an experience, we're not focused on that. We're not doing the, what am I still blocked around? Why am I not letting myself have this experience anymore? We're not doing that. We're just doing the addiction meditation. And then so we're continuing that. We're not stopping that one, but that's why I wanted to start it when I did. And then the Mool mantra, then that's the sound vibration of that. That's like the sound vibration side of the habituation meditation. That's like the mantra equivalent in a sense, because again, it gets to the root. The root. It does so much more than that, but that's it. When we say change the fate to destiny being our decision, our choice, the choice and decisions that we're making about who we are, what we experience, what we have, no matter what we perceive, no matter what circumstances there. I don't care what this is. I don't care what it looks like. This is how it is. This is who I am, and this is how it is. And this is how it is, and this is how it is, and this is how it is. Now, this is how it is now. This is how it is now. This is what my life is now. This is my experience now. Money is effortless. Relationships effortless. Health, vitality is effortless. It's already this way. I'm already, already this. I already have this. Just like you have the car you have right now. Okay. You also have your dream home. Nope, I have it right now. No, I'm this right now. So the Mool mantra, again, getting to the root of the things that are just not of the old identity, of the identity we've just been accustomed to, just what we've been used to. And so just like a person that grew up as a billionaire in wealth, there's a certain identity that they have. Someone who's always been wealthy. Someone who grew up with like real deep, expansive wealth. There's just a way they are. There's things they don't think about. There's things they think about. It's like they don't look at what something costs. They don't think about how are they going to pay for XYZ. They don't, if they lose a lot of money in some investment, they're not worried about it because there's always money and there's always more coming in and it's always generated. So it's like you want to think about like what, okay, well, somebody that this is just a normal thing for them. How do they behave? How do they move? What do they think about? Again, it's like in wealth, as an example, if you're worried and if you're thinking about how am I going to pay for this thing that's in a month from now, how am I going to pay for that, how am I going to pay for that, well, you're just creating more how am I going to pay for that versus I always have more than enough. No, I always have more than enough. Everything's always paid in full easily. Money is always like circulating for me. And of course, these are things that as we get accustomed to being in that identity, we have to repeat to ourselves. Okay, but then the again until it actually becomes like, but let the thought be the habit. No, I always have more than enough. No, it always, like, the money is always here. Like, money's always here when I need it. Money's always here when I want it. Everything's always paid in full easily. There's no question. So that's what we're then creating. And then the habituation meditation, the mul mantra, the practices that we do, it's like getting rid of that old, how am I going to pay for that? How am I, it's just releasing that old habitual way of being. We're releasing, we're letting go of habitual ways of being. That's an old identity that's no longer aligned with the life that we are choosing, an identity we're choosing to be, to live. It's the outside in. It's the things happen here first and then it happens to me. Okay. Fate to destiny of the Mool mantra. Fate, things happen to me versus I'm the source of literally everything happening. So if something's happening and has been happening that I don't like and I no longer am choosing, it's up to me to decide to shift that. And nothing out here and nothing I do in the 3D external world as action is going to change it, is going to change anything until I change in here and how I'm thinking, perceiving, and being my identity. Okay. So that's it. Let's do yoga. Let's do yoga. So that's what we're doing in here.